If you look at the way people move around Oregon today, you'll notice something interesting happening. More riders are choosing e-bikes than ever before, and Portland alone has seen steady year-over-year growth in e-bike ridership. Because of this shift, many people now say Oregon is quietly turning into an e-bike paradise. And honestly, it makes perfect sense once you look closer. And this is our today's discussion point. Why Oregon is becoming an e-bike paradise and what the state holding for e-bike's future. Let's know a bit more. The state naturally lines up everything an e-bike rider could want. In cities like Portland, e-bikes have gone from being a trendy experiment to becoming a normal part of daily life. People use them for commuting, grocery runs, school drop-offs, and even quick meetups because they make travel easier and faster without the stress of traffic or parking. Meanwhile, when you step outside the city, the same bikes open up landscapes that once felt too demanding for casual cyclists. Hills don't feel impossible anymore, long stretches feel manageable, and scenic routes become enjoyable instead of tiring. First, look at the cities, especially Portland, where recent reporting shows e-bikes now make up about 17% of all bikes on the streets. This is meaningful because it shows that people are adopting e-bikes for everyday uses, commuting to work, running errands, dropping kids at school, or simply meeting friends. Moreover, e-bikes reduce the friction of city travel. They help riders avoid traffic, they cut fuel and parking costs, and they limit the sweat and effort that sometimes makes cycling impractical in hilly or rainy places. Because the city has steadily built bike lanes, protected paths, and shared-use corridors, more people feel safe riding, and therefore more people are willing to try an e-bike even if they'd never ridden a regular bike before. Beyond the concrete, Oregon's landscape is the other big reason e-bikes fit so well. The state offers rivers, gorges, waterfalls, forests, coastlines, and high desert, all within a few hours of major population centers. For that reason, e-bikes change the meaning of day trip. For instance, the historic Columbia River Highway State Trail, Travel Oregon, Oregon State Parks, provides a paved, scenic route through the Columbia River Gorge with tunnels, viewpoints, and waterfall access. Because e-bikes give riders an extra boost on hills and long stretches, routes like this become comfortable rather than exhausting. Therefore, what used to be a demanding ride becomes a relaxed, photo-friendly exploration. To understand the appeal more clearly, remember that the electric assist on modern e-bikes does two things. It smooths out climbs, and it makes long rides practical. As a result, riders go farther, ride more often, and take routes they would have avoided on a traditional bike. Research from the Transportation Research and Education Center at Portland State University supports this idea. E-bike owners tend to ride more frequently and travel longer distances than owners of conventional bicycles. Consequently, e-bikes encourage people to replace short car trips with bike trips and to explore scenic corridors that once required vehicles or a high level of fitness. Importantly, Oregon's e-bike culture is not limited to people who already own a bike. Instead, a growing rental and tour economy makes e-biking accessible to visitors and occasional riders. Travel Oregon, TripAdvisor, Viator, and local outfitters all promote guided e-bike experiences, from waterfall hopping tours in the gorge to wine country rides and coastal cruises. Thus, even travelers without gear can experience Oregon's best routes. Additionally, local bike shops act as community hubs, offering tune-ups, safety workshops, and rental advice, so riders can get comfortable quickly and safely. Another important piece is the legal and planning framework. State and local authorities in Oregon have clarified where e-bikes are allowed, and major multi-use trails explicitly permit them. Because rules are clear and infrastructure continues to improve, riders don't have to worry about breaking the law when they ride on state trails or city paths. In turn, clearer rules and better infrastructure draw more riders, which creates a positive feedback loop that strengthens the culture and encourages further investment in bike facilities. When you put these pieces together, city infrastructure that supports safe riding, natural routes, and scenic trails that reward exploration, rentals, and tours that lower the barrier for visitors, plus clear rules that reduce confusion. It's easy to see why people call Oregon an e-bike paradise. You can use an e-bike to commute to work, then ride into natural areas and enjoy waterfalls and river vistas in the same day. You don't need to be super fit, nor do you need to own expensive equipment, and yet you can still enjoy long, varied rides that feel adventurous rather than exhausting. This setup appeals across audiences: daily commuters who want to save time and money, tourists who want scenic but manageable rides, families who want safe weekend outings, and environmentally conscious riders who want lower-emission transport. Consequently, e-bikes work as a practical tool for everyday mobility and as a means of accessing Oregon's dramatic outdoor spaces. As a result, the state's roads and trails are seeing more diverse riders than ever before, and that diversity helps normalize e-biking for the next wave of users. Finally, the trend points to continued growth. As infrastructure expands, as rental and tour markets mature, and as more people realize how easily e-bikes connect city life with nature, Oregon's role as a top e-bike destination will likely strengthen. Furthermore, if local policies continue to favor safe, connected bike networks, and if incentives or rebate programs expand access, more residents will swap short car trips for e-bike rides. In short, the combination of practical, legal, and cultural factors already in place gives Oregon a durable advantage. And that is why many riders now and visitors tomorrow call it an e-bike paradise.